"Doc, I feel like a ghost in my own life." That's what Robert told me. 65 years old. Once a mountain hiker, a proud coach, a loving husband. Now he wakes up tired, walks through the day like it's fog, and barely recognizes the man in the mirror. I thought slowing down was just part of getting old, he said, and that, right there, is the biggest lie men over 60 are sold every single day. We're told that fatigue, low drive, and fading strength are just normal, as if they're badges of honor for reaching a certain age. But let me ask you something. Since when did aging become a sentence to live half a life? The moment a man turns 60, the world starts offering him solutions: pills for energy, gels for hormones, injections for performance. Big Pharma loves that. It keeps you buying, believing that your best years are behind you, and that you need something synthetic to feel like yourself again. But here's what I want you to know. Your body is not broken. It's just underfed, undervalued, and underestimated. What if the answer isn't locked in a prescription bottle, but sitting quietly in your grocery store? What if your kitchen held more healing than your medicine cabinet? What if 3 simple fruits, yes, fruits could change how you wake up, how you move, how you feel as a man? Sounds crazy. It's not. It's biology. You see, after more than 30 years working with men over 50, I've seen the same story again and again. A good man starts to feel tired, disconnected, less alive, and he thinks, well, I guess that's just aging. But here's the truth. Aging doesn't cause that. Starving your cells does. Neglecting your hormones does. Losing circulation does. Today, I want to share something different. Not a pill, not a product, but a principle. A way to fuel your vitality from the inside out. And it starts with 3 fruits, each one carefully selected, each one backed by science, each one restoring a core part of what makes a man feel alive. In a moment, I'll introduce them to you, one by one. But before we begin, I want you to know this. This is not about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming power, focus, desire, and strength. Because if you're still breathing, you're still building, and your best chapter, it might be waiting for you, right after breakfast. Let's get started. Let me tell you about James. He was 72, walked slowly into my office, shoulders low, eyes dull. And when he sat down, he sighed deeply and said, "Doctor, I'm not the man I used to be." It wasn't just the words. It was the way he said it, like something had been taken from him. His energy, his confidence, his connection all gone, and in its place, just silence. But here's what most men like James don't realize. What he was feeling wasn't just getting older. It was blood flow, or more specifically, the lack of it. You see, after 60, circulation becomes the foundation of everything. And I don't just mean for your heart. I mean for your muscles, your brain, and yes, your intimacy. When blood stops flowing freely, life stops feeling full. So I asked James a simple question. Have you ever tried pomegranate juice? He looked at me, a little confused. You mean that red fruit with the seeds? Exactly. Pomegranate is one of nature's most powerful gifts. Not because it tastes good, but because it's built to restore blood flow deeply, naturally, effectively. Inside this fruit is a special group of antioxidants called polyphenols, and one in particular, punicalagon, is a true game changer. Here's why. Punicalagon reduces oxidative stress. That means it protects the lining of your arteries from damage, kind of like giving your blood vessels a second chance at youth. But even more importantly, it boosts nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is your body's signal to relax. When nitric oxide goes up, your blood vessels open up. They expand. They allow blood to move easily, freely, and where it's needed most. Now think about that. More blood flowing means more oxygen, more nutrients, more life. Especially in areas where men often feel the decline. And here's the best part. This isn't guesswork, it's science. In a clinical study, men who drank just 6 ounces of pure pomegranate juice every day saw major improvements in erection quality and duration. And not in months. In just 2 weeks, no prescriptions, no injections, just a fruit, doing what it was designed to do. So I gave James a plan. Nothing complicated. Just 1 glass of pomegranate juice every morning, 6 ounces, on an empty stomach. Real juice. No sugar added. He agreed. 3 weeks later, James came back. I almost didn't recognize him. He stood taller. He looked brighter, and he smiled before he even sat down. He said, "Doc, my wife is looking at me like she used to. Something's changing." And I smiled too, because that's the power of this fruit. It doesn't just improve blood flow, it brings a man back to life. Let's take a moment to understand why. Pomegranate juice is rich in punicalagon, which we already mentioned. But that's not all. It also contains ellagic acid, a powerful antioxidant that supports prostate health, vitamin C to strengthen blood vessel walls, and potassium to help balance blood pressure. In short, it's a complete cardiovascular support package, and all of it comes from a fruit you can find in nearly every grocery store. Now, some men ask, can I take a supplement instead? Sure, there are pomegranate extracts out there. But here's the truth. The real fruit contains dozens of compounds that work together. That's called synergy. And most capsules only isolate 1 or 2. Your body wasn't designed to thrive on isolates. It was built to absorb whole foods. That's why juice, the real stuff, works best. So, how should you take it? Start your day with 6 ounces of pure pomegranate juice. Drink it before you eat anything else. Give your body the chance to absorb it directly. If you want, you can also eat the seeds. They're full of fiber and add a nice crunch to yogurt or oatmeal. You don't need to overdo it. 1 serving a day is enough. And trust me, your body knows what to do with it. Now, let me be clear. Pomegranate is not a magic cure. It's not going to turn back time overnight, but it is a foundation, a beginning, a natural way to restore what time and stress may have stolen. If you're a man over 60, if you're feeling slower, heavier, less yourself, before you reach for pills, reach for a pomegranate. Try it for 2 weeks, every morning, 1 glass, no shortcuts. Then watch how your body responds. You might be surprised, and like James, you might feel that fire coming back. Next, we move from blood flow to fire, the kind that fuels your motivation, your strength, and your desire to take life head-on. It's time to talk about the green fruit that boosts testosterone, calms stress, and reminds you what it means to feel like a man. Let's talk about avocados. Let's talk about Michael. He was 68, tall, athletic, retired early, spent his mornings biking and afternoons reading history. From the outside, he looked like a man who had it all together. But when he sat across from me, his eyes told a different story. He leaned in and said, quietly, "Doctor, I just don't feel like a man anymore. Not angry, not sick, just dimmed." He had lost the edge, not just in the bedroom, but in life. His mornings felt dull, his energy flat, his sense of drive gone. Now, here's something important. That feeling Michael described, it's not rare. In fact, I hear it every week, and it almost always leads to one word: testosterone. Most people think of testosterone as just a sex hormone, but it's so much more. It's energy, it's ambition, it's focus. It's the reason you wake up with purpose and end the day with pride. Without it, you feel slow, foggy, weaker, less alive. Now, testosterone naturally declines with age. That's true. But too many men are told there's only one solution: hormone replacement therapy. Patches, gels, shots, pills. But those come with risks, and they don't address the root cause. What if I told you the real solution was creamy, green, and sitting on your kitchen counter? That's right. The avocado. Now hear me out. Avocados aren't just trendy toast toppings. They are nature's hormonal builders. Why? Because they are rich in monounsaturated fats. These are the healthy fats your body uses to make testosterone. They're like raw materials your body can turn into hormonal fuel. But that's just the start. Avocados also contain magnesium and zinc, two minerals absolutely critical for male hormonal health. Magnesium helps keep testosterone active. Zinc supports its production and prevents it from being converted into estrogen, something that increases with age. And then there's vitamin B6. You'll find it in avocados, too. This little vitamin lowers your cortisol levels, the stress hormone. Because guess what? Stress is the silent killer of testosterone. High cortisol drains your tank. It tells your body to shut down production. It blunts desire, it dulls joy. But B6 keeps cortisol in check, and that lets your testosterone rise. Back to Michael. I gave him a simple plan. No drugs, no injections, just half an avocado a day, every morning, with breakfast, alongside some eggs and water. That's it. Within 1 week, something shifted. He came back and said, "I don't know why, but I feel more present, more in my body, more like myself." His energy returned, his sleep improved, and that blank space behind his eyes, it was gone. His handshake was firmer, his mood was lighter. He even said his wife noticed he was humming again. It wasn't magic, it was nutrients, targeted, powerful, real. And here's the thing. Avocados also support your heart. They help lower LDL cholesterol and raise HDL. And for men, that's vital, because heart health and performance are linked. Strong blood vessels, steady blood pressure, they're all part of the same system. Now, a lot of men ask me, what's the best way to eat avocado? You can slice it, scoop it straight with a spoon, spread it on whole grain toast, or mix it into a smoothie for extra creaminess. The point isn't how you eat it, it's that you do. 1/2 per day is plenty. More than that, great. But at least half gives you the fats, minerals, and vitamins your hormones crave. Now, if you're allergic or just can't stand avocados, don't worry. There are other sources of healthy fats like olive oil, nuts, or fatty fish. But nothing gives the full hormonal package like an avocado. It's simple, it's affordable, and your body will recognize it immediately. Not as foreign, but as fuel. So if you've been feeling like something's off, like your fire is dimming, start here. Not with a patch, not with a pill, with a fruit. Because sometimes the strongest medicine is the one that grows on trees. And that brings us to the final fruit. It's yellow. It's soft. It's familiar. But don't let that fool you, because what you're about to hear next might change the way you feel, move, and think every single day. Let's talk about the banana. Let's talk about Thomas. He was 73, a retired school principal, sharp mind, proud posture, always the type to stand tall and speak with purpose. But when he sat down across from me, he looked drained. "Doctor," he said quietly, "I wake up tired. I go to bed tired. And somewhere in between, I lose the energy to care." That wasn't depression. That was depletion. A deep, cellular fatigue. He had the will, but not the fuel. So I asked him one question. "What do you eat for breakfast?" He paused, thinking, then shrugged. "Honestly, most days I skip it. Maybe just coffee." And there it was. Because for men over 60, the body doesn't just switch on in the morning. It needs a spark. It needs something that tells the cells it's time to move, time to live. That's where the banana comes in. Yes, the banana. It's probably the most overlooked powerhouse in your kitchen. But this yellow fruit holds something incredible. It holds fuel. Real, usable, cellular energy. Let's break it down. Bananas are rich in potassium. Most people think potassium is just about preventing cramps. But it's far more than that. Potassium keeps your heart rhythm steady. It helps lower blood pressure. It supports nerve signaling, muscle contraction, and even your brain's ability to stay alert. Think of it like the spark plug for your body's engine. Then there's magnesium. It helps blood vessels relax. It reduces inflammation. And when combined with potassium, it forms a team that protects your entire cardiovascular system. But there's more. Bananas also contain vitamin B6 and tryptophan. Tryptophan is an amino acid that your body uses to make serotonin. That's the feel-good hormone, the one that keeps your mood balanced, your mind focused, and your stress levels low. So when you start your morning with a banana, you're not just feeding your stomach, you're feeding your heart, your muscles, your nervous system, your brain. Back to Thomas. I gave him a simple morning routine: 1 banana, a glass of water, and if he wanted a spoonful of peanut butter for protein and healthy fat. That's it. No pills, no powders, just food. Real food. 3 days later, he called me. He said, "Doc, I don't just feel awake in the morning. I feel steady, like I'm not crashing mid-morning anymore." His energy had returned, not in a spike, but as a steady current. And that's the magic of bananas. They don't give you a sugar rush. They give you glycemic balance. Their natural sugars, glucose, fructose, and sucrose, are wrapped in fiber. That slows absorption, prevents crashes, keeps you fueled for hours. You stay sharp, you stay focused, you stay you. Bananas are also easy on the stomach. They're great for men with acid issues or sensitive digestion. They're portable, they don't need refrigeration, and they go well with almost anything: oatmeal, toast, smoothies, or just on their own. Some people worry about the sugar. Yes, bananas are sweet, but they're not processed. They're balanced. And unless you're diabetic or told otherwise by your doctor, 1 banana a day is not only safe, it's powerful. So here's what I tell my patients. Start your day with a banana. Give your cells something real. Give your mood a head start. Give your heart the support it needs to keep beating strong. Because energy isn't just about what you do. It's about what you feed yourself before you even move. If you've been feeling low, if your mornings feel foggy, start with the banana. Simple, steady, strong. And when you combine it with what we've already covered, the pomegranate for blood flow, the avocado for hormones, then you've built something remarkable. A morning routine that speaks your body's language. 3 fruits, 3 functions, 1 mission to bring you back to life. Now, in just a moment, I'll share exactly how to combine them for the biggest impact, and I'll give you a bonus tip that amplifies their effects even more. But first, remember this: energy isn't something you chase, it's something you feed, and sometimes all it takes is a banana. Let's move on to how you put it all together simply, powerfully, and naturally. Let's put it all together. You've learned about pomegranates, you've learned about avocados, and you've learned about bananas. Each one has its own power. Each one works on a different system in your body, but something special happens. When you combine them, not randomly, but intentionally, in a very specific way. I call it the Morning Vitality Trio. It's simple, it takes less than 5 minutes, and it could transform the way you feel every single day. Here's how it works. Step 1. Start your morning with 6 ounces of pure pomegranate juice. Not from concentrate, no sugar added, just real, cold-pressed pomegranate juice. Drink it first, on an empty stomach. Why? Because pomegranate boosts your nitric oxide. That's what opens your blood vessels, improves flow, wakes up your circulation, and sets the tone for the day. It's like turning on your internal power grid. Step 2. Slice open half an avocado. Scoop it out, eat it with a spoon, or spread it on toast, whatever works for you. The healthy fats in avocado will stabilize your blood sugar, support testosterone, and provide the raw materials your hormones need to function. Think of it as hormone fuel. Step 3. Eat 1 banana, not too green, not overly ripe, just a good, firm banana. That gives you potassium, magnesium, natural sugars with fiber, and mood-supporting compounds like tryptophan. It's your steady energy source. So when you put it all together, the pomegranate opens the pathways, the avocado fuels your hormones, and the banana powers your body and mind. 3 fruits, 3 minutes, massive benefits. But that's not all. If you want to take it one step further, here's the bonus tip. After you've had your fruit trio, add a tablespoon of ground flaxseed or chia seeds. Sprinkle them into your water, or mix into a small bowl of yogurt. You can even blend them into a smoothie with your banana. Why? Because these tiny seeds are rich in omega-3 fatty acids. They reduce inflammation, support brain health, and improve your body's ability to use the nutrients you just consumed. They also contain lignans. These help balance hormones even further, especially helpful for men with slightly elevated estrogen. Think of flax and chia as the amplifiers. They don't replace the fruits, they supercharge them. And together, the effect is real. More clarity, more stamina, better digestion, stable blood sugar, healthier blood pressure, sharper mood, deeper sleep, and yes, a stronger, more confident sense of self, all starting before 8 a.m. You don't need an expensive supplement. You don't need 5 different pills. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet. You need a routine that's easy, natural, and speaks your body's language. Now let me be honest, this isn't a miracle. It won't reverse decades of neglect overnight. But give it 7 days, just 1 week, wake up, pomegranate juice, half an avocado, 1 banana, 1 tablespoon of flax or chia. Watch what happens. Pay attention to your energy, your sleep, your focus, and even how you feel walking up the stairs. Your body doesn't need extreme measures. It needs real food, given in the right order, at the right time. That's the key. The Morning Vitality Trio works because it respects how your body functions. Start with blood flow, then hormones, then energy. That's the sequence. Follow it, and you'll feel it. This is how you reclaim your mornings. This is how you take back your edge. And this is how you prove that aging doesn't have to mean decline. It can mean strength, wisdom, power, and joy. Let's move to our final part, where we pull it all together and leave you with something you'll carry far beyond the kitchen. So here we are. You've heard the science, you've heard the stories, you've been introduced to 3 simple fruits: pomegranate, avocado, banana. Nothing exotic, nothing synthetic, nothing you need a prescription for, and yet, they hold the potential to change how you age, how you move, how you show up in your body, your relationships, and your purpose. Let me leave you with one powerful truth. Aging doesn't break a man. Giving up does. What I've seen in over 3 decades as a doctor is this. The body wants to heal. It's always ready, always waiting, but it needs the right signal. And that signal, it often starts with food, with movement, with choosing to believe that you're not past your prime, you're just out of rhythm. Getting older doesn't mean shrinking away from life. It means stepping more fully into who you are, with less noise, more clarity, and yes, more strength. Because when your blood flows, when your hormones balance, when your cells are powered, you don't just feel better. You remember who you are. You stand taller. You laugh louder. You love deeper. And the people around you, they feel it too. So here's my final message. Start small. Start tomorrow. Start with the Morning Vitality Trio. 6 ounces of pomegranate juice, half an avocado, 1 banana, then watch what happens. Let that be your new morning ritual. Let that be your commitment to yourself, to your energy, to your confidence, to your vitality. And if it works for you, share it. Share it with a friend, with your brother, your father, your son, or any man you care about who's starting to fade. Because this isn't just about food. It's about showing men everywhere that strength has no expiration date. That desire doesn't have a deadline. That you don't need to feel less with each passing year. You can feel more. The next chapter of your life doesn't have to be dimmed. It can be bright, clear, and full of power. You're not too late. You're right on time. And your body, it's been waiting for this moment. Now go fuel it. Live like you still matter. Because you do.